Throughout history, it has been the inaction of those who could have created, the indifference of those who should have known better, the silence of the voice of justice when it mattered most, that has made it possible for the evil to triumph. By the early 1800s, more than 700,000 slaves lived in the South. They accounted for about a third of the region's people. Slaves outnumbered whites in South Carolina and made up over half the population in both Maryland and Virginia. At the time of the Civil War, approximately 4 million enslaved African Americans lived in the South. In the 19th century, supporters of slavery called the system a necessary evil. Many white people thought that the abolishment of slavery would be harmful to the United States economically and socially. Robert E. Lee believed that slavery is, quote, an institution of moral and political evil, but the painful discipline they are undergoing is necessary for further instructions as a race. Another argument for pro-slavery was that slavery was a positive good. In the words of John C. Calhoun, instead of an evil, a good, a positive good. This is because he believed that in every community there should be one class working for another class, and slavery was a necessary part that was needed to help build the rest of society. However, pro-slavery was only one part of the argument. There were many organizations in the early 1800s. Three of the major organizations were the American Colonization Society, or commonly known as the ACS, the New England Anti-Slavery Society, the NEAS, and the American Anti-Slavery Society, the AASS. The ACS was established in 1816 by Robert Finley. This organization's goal was to abolish slavery while satisfying both abolitionists and slave owners, because they thought that they needed to appeal to both sides in order for the movement to be a success. The ACS attacked the NEAS's strategies publicly, which backfired, sending many supporters to the NEAS. The NEAS, established in 1836 by William Lloyd Garrison, used a different strategy. They wanted to mediate abolishment and decided to ignore slave owners' view and appeal solely to abolitionists' view. The preamble to their manifesto stated that slavery is contrary to the ideas of Christianity, and therefore must be abolished immediately. They were well known for their belief that the ACS was racist and in favor of the slave owner. William Lloyd Garrison also co-founded the American Anti-Slavery Society and brought with him the ideals of the NEAS. The idea of the AASS went a step further. However, they wanted to complete equality in political, economical, and social rights. This was the largest organization with over 150,000 members. They handed out pamphlets and produced newspapers in hopes of appealing to the people. The newspaper, The Slave's Friend, was circulated a relatively low amount, but encouraged fair treatment of slaves and the necessity of their liberation. The Emancipation Proclamation is a famous document signed by the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. The pressure formed from the techniques used by the various groups of abolitionists in the early 1800s led to the creation of the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. Therefore, the social movement of the abolitionists led to the outlawing of slavery and liberation of the slaves. Even though the slaves were free, slavery was not considered illegal. It still existed in many southern states. This made the abolitionists continue fighting for their cause of complete abolishment of slavery in the South, hereby continuing pressure forced upon the government by social movements and activists. This led to the creation of the 13th Amendment, which made slavery an unconstitutional and illegal act of immoral values.